Hi guys, welcome to the first in the section of tutorials for WinCC by Siemens. We're just going to start with the basics. I'm not going to show you how to install the software. It's fairly simple. It's a typical Windows installation MSI. However, there are a lot of things that the system has to do to install this software. It's quite a big piece of software. And it does take, I think, about an hour and a bit to install the whole system. So we won't go through that installation, but what we'll do is we'll just go straight into the software and start looking at it. When you do eventually start the software, you will be presented with this start page here. Now what you've got here is various sections where if you just hold, you don't have to click, but just hold your cursor over the top to create or open existing projects that you've done before. The bottom one here is open a Pro Tool project, if I can get my lips around that. The Pro Tool is obviously, a lot of you will have come across it in the past. It's the older version of HMI software that Siemens did. If you have any Pro Tool projects, you can import them into WinCC and it will convert them into WinCC usage. Some of the things it doesn't always convert, but nevertheless it will convert it and then give you the ability to save it back down into a WinCC format. I think it also does allow you to save it back in Pro Tool as well, but it's so long since I've done any of the Pro Tool stuff now, I can't actually remember, but there we go. You can, like I say, open up an existing, you can create a new project from a wizard, you can open an existing project that may be on another hard drive or a memory stick or something like that, that WinCC can't see, whereas it will if this is on your hard drive. Create an empty project or open the Pro Tool project. We're going to start off and create the empty project. When you click onto that, you can then select the device that you're going to be running. Now, I could pick up some of the smaller screens, but they won't allow me to do some of the things that I want to do. So I'm going to pick one that actually I've been doing a lot of work with lately. A lot of monitors in our plant are based on the PC677 19-inch touch. So we'll choose that one, and that gives us a good variation of what we can do with the screen and what we do with the touch screen. Some of the smallest panels, the 70s, the OPs and some of the TPs can't do quite as much, but if I show you as much as we can, then I think that's a lot better way to go. So once we've chosen our screen, click the open OK there, and it will open the project. This can take a couple of seconds to do, so we'll just let it get on with it. Now I can have a quick slip of my drink. There we go. Okay, so now we're opened up with our editing screen editor now. Just to run you through, if you click in the center there and drag this down, you can see the basis of your screen. Okay, you can reduce that a little bit if you wish, and then you get an overall just by going to the zoom factor here. On the bottom of the screen here, you will see a lot of the properties come up. You will actually get a fair few different windows that will show here. One of them being your output window, which is part of when you compile and download it. It will give you messages to whether your system is compiling okay or not. But for the moment, what it's showing us is the properties of this particular screen 1. You'll see the title up there as screen_1, and you'll see it just there. But we'll go into this a little bit more later. As you see, you've got animations and events and all the properties associated with that window. If I pull in from the right here, you will see a little tools window. and you'll see you've got enhanced objects, my controls, graphics and library, and this one is simple objects. Okay, if I go to the enhanced, that just brings that up, and you can see you've got sliders and clocks and gauges, etc. My controls, well, I've got a couple of normally this would be empty for you guys. Once you've installed it for the first time, you probably won't see anything under my controls. These are ones that I've added in later. The main one here being the MS-COM from Windows. Graphics, well, again, this opens it up and you can just pull that down. I won't pull it down too much. If you go into these image folders, you've got one for yourself, so it pulls in all of your symbols that you may have in your pictures file on your hard drive. There are a few logos, latest bitmaps. These are all directories that are found in your my pictures, which is in my documents. Okay, but the ones that are shipped with the software here, you can open them up, and if you go to symbol factory true colors or 16 two colors, whatever you like, if I open up there 3D push buttons, etc., you will see you've got a bunch of graphics that you can use as part of your software. There are quite a few more on the internet. You can do a search for HMI symbols on Google or Bing, whichever is your favorite, and you will find more symbols, and a lot of them are free as well. You've got air conditioning ones, and yeah, containers, and computer hardware, conveyor belts, conveyor simples, and miscellaneous. I use these quite a lot, so they're not bad. You got a fair few to go at there. Sensors as well. Look. Okay, so that's the tools on the right hand side. Let's just remove that down a little. And on the left hand side here you will see your project. So we've opened up our project there and we've created a new project, and we have a template, and it automatically adds in a screen for us, which is the screen that you will see. We've got various other, let me just close these down so we don't get confused. There are also various other sections here. So we've got one for communications, our connections, and if you double click that, you will open up your connections file. Okay, as we started an empty project, we have nothing in there at the moment. Then we have alarm management and recipes, so you can add a recipe, historical data, scripts where you can add a script, which we'll be going into later as well. Various reports, text and graphics lists, runtime user administration, which is the ability to set your passwords for the screens and things like this. Device settings, languages, fonts, etc. More languages. Structures, which you can add there, and you've got your version controls as well. So we'll be going through these one by one, but what we're going to do is start by creating a basic simple project. So those are your symbols there. That's a basic layout. As you notice, when I opened up the connections, it added a tab here, so I can now flip between the two tabs, and it will add more and more tabs up at the top. You have navigation through here, so you can click through those screens or the navigation, or the little cross there, which will just close the tab that you have highlighted at the moment. Now across the top we have a couple of compile and runtime, and this little down arrow, this little down arrow, which is your download. Okay, so if I actually press the runtime, now this is where a lot of people get confused. What runtime is going to be the runtime file that is actually stored into your HMI screen. So this is now running that screen. Okay, you'll see that there's nothing on there. That was just a blank screen, but it is now giving us the simulation of that screen there. It also allows you that if you're connected onto the system, onto your PLC, even though you actually have a screen connected as well running the software, you can actually run your screen from your laptop as well. So if you happen to be in a different part of the factory, or you just not sitting, or the PLC itself is sat away from the HMI, you can actually connect to the PLC with your laptop and operate the machine using this as a secondary HMI. Close that down. Okay, that's just a quick introduction to it. In the next video we'll start placing objects onto the screens and adding more screens, and start going through it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the introduction, and I hope to see you in the next video. Subscribe if you will, and leave any comments, or click the like if you like, or the dislike if you don't. If you do click dislike, I'd appreciate a little comment to say why, and I can try and create a better video for you on the next one. Alright, take care for now.